After back-to-back losses and a bad start to the season, we are in desperate need of our first win in the PPL. For week 3, our opponent is Matt, someone who I have actually never beaten before, and we really need to win this game, otherwise we run the risk of not making playoffs already. If you enjoyed the video and aren't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd appreciate if you hit the big red button. It only takes a second and massively helps us on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Now this matchup is a tough one as Matt has a sand team with Houndstone that is able to use last respects, and an Excadrill to also take advantage of the sand. Skarmory, Gastrodon, and Amoonguss are incredibly annoying to kill, especially considering the Gastrodon can become a poison type to completely wall my Keldeo. Tyranitar not only provides sand for Houndstone and Excadrill, but it's also a very scary offensive threat with access to knockoff now. Galarian Zapdos is an incredibly difficult Pokemon to switch into thanks to its high base power moves, and it can always U-turn to gain momentum on forced switches. I did not have a fun time prepping for this game at all, with me even making changes to the team 30 minutes before we played. Shout out to my front office. Without them, I don't know what kind of team I would have built here. The first Pokemon I put on the team was Meowscarada because Matt doesn't have a single ice resist. I realize that sentence probably doesn't make much sense, but it actually does since Meowscarada can turn into an ice type with Protean and Triple Axle. My opponent truly doesn't have a switch into Choice Band to Triple Axle. Even physically defensive Skarmory is 2-hit KO'd if I can land all 3 hits twice. The annoying part would be Rocky Helmet, but Meowscarada can knock it off the first time it's in, and then it will be free to click Triple Axle. Sucker Punch could be nice priority for his Sand Sweepers, of course. Next up, we have a very bulky, somewhat physically defensive Hariyama, and its main role here is to switch into an offensive Tyranitar and keep the Skarmory busy. With Bulk Up plus Taunt, we should be able to 1v1 the Skarmory decently well, but even if we just knock off its Rocky Helmet so Meowscarada becomes free to click Triple Axle, it will absolutely be worth it. We're also Terra Steel here just in case to avoid being clear smogged by an Amoonguss, but I don't see myself tearing Hariyama honestly. That's because our actual win condition Sinistcha is a much better Terra Captain this week. Sinistcha should have been able to run away with the game last week. We kind of choked that a little bit, so this week it's redemption time for Sinistcha. I did have Terra Steel on this to dodge clear smog from Amoonguss and Gastrodon as well, but the way I see myself playing this is super late game, and not being weak to Excadrill's Earthquake sounded super important. So we went with the Terra Fairy. Matt has a lot of physical breakers and not many special breakers, so if we can get an Air defense up, we will be in a pretty good spot here for sure. Next up will be our fully physically defensive Uxie holding the Rocky Helmet, and this will most likely be our lead. I do want to set up rocks on turn 1 to break Skarmory sturdy and just to force chip damage on Pokemon all around. Helmet is here because this is the primary switch into Galarian Zapdos, and I want to be able to always punish it no matter what button it clicks. Psychic Noise is there to stop his bulkier Pokemon from healing. Foul Play is for Swords Dance Excadrill, and Reflect is there because, again, his team is mainly physically offensive, so if we pull off a Suicide Reflect into Sinistcha, we can start setting up. We are also bringing fully physically defensive Hisuian Quillfish with Poison Point instead of Intimidate because of Galarian Zapdos. This is going to be the main Houndstone pivot. We are fat enough to take a couple of last respects and do damage back with Crunch. It's not the best into his fatter stuff, but at least we can taunt them and punish them with spikes. I did have a Porygon Z in the slot to switch into Houndstone, but Porygon just invites Tyranitar in every time, and I don't love switching into Tyranitar. Last but certainly not least is Iron Treads, and this was literally added last second. I had Keldeo with Baton Pass in the slot as it should bait in Gastrodon and Amoonguss, giving Meowscarada free switch-ins to click buttons, but then I realized I needed Rapid Spin, and if we remove Skarmory, Earthquake is actually very spammable. I initially had a heavy-duty boot set with enough special attack to 2-hit KO a physically defensive Skarmory, but at that point Earthquake wasn't hitting the rest of the team that hard, so I needed an extra boost in power. That's when Bruno in my front office suggested Weakness Policy, and if you guys know me, I'm a sucker for Weakness Policy. The idea of the set is to have it in on Gastrodon or Skarmory, Rapid Spin any hazards they want to set up, and then have them pop my Weakness Policy with Earth Power or Body Press respectively, which then allows me to catch them off guard with either boosted Thunder on Skarmory or boosted Earthquakes on the rest of the team. Air Defense is there so I can do it in front of Skarmory without taking too much damage. I see myself using this as an early game breaker, but if we position it properly, it can be a late game cleaner. That's the team. I was not confident going into this game at all, unlike last week, but we have to absolutely pull through and get a win here. If you enjoy the team builder and go on to enjoy the battle, please hit the sub button and leave a like on the video. Okay, so we actually don't see the dog coming, which is super surprising. I am glad I didn't bring my Porygon Z now because it would have been a little bit of dead weight. Matt's team is like weird because it's very offensive because of sand, But then it's also fat because that has Skarmory and Amoonguss and Gastrodon and Tyranitar. It's such a bitch to prep for, but we're going to do our absolute best. Last week did hit me kind of hard, so we're still looking for our first win. So hopefully this is the week we are able to get our first win. It does suck a little bit that I've never beaten Matt ever in my career. I guess I don't think so. He usually beats me, and some would say with a little bit of luck, but today is the day we are going to win. So we're going to let off with our Uxie. If possible, I'd like to be able to get Rocks up turn 1. So let's just see what he ends up leading off with. I don't know if I registered 6 Pokemon. So that's something. I clicked on Uxie twice instead of clicking on enter. Okay, so I actually have all 6 Pokemon now, so that's good. And we're leading off with our Uxie as we wanted to. And I think we're just going to be able to get up our Rocks here. We can scout what this thing wants to go for as well. I'd imagine we're just going to see a U-turn out into Tyranitar, but I really do just want to get up my Rocks. So that's what we're going to end up doing here. So let's just get them up. And they are just going to U-turn. That's going to do down to 247. Yeah, so that seems to be just like Jolly Scarf. So nothing crazy there. And they are going to bring out Barney, the freaking Tyranitar, which is annoying, but we'll be able to get our Rocks up. And then the plan was always to go into Tyranitar after anyway, so let's just go ahead and do that. Luckily, Tyranitar doesn't have Pursuit because that would have made this matchup incredibly difficult to win. So unfortunately, we do get chipped by the Sandstorm, which is annoying. I know he's probably going to click like Protect or something. Matt loves his like Protect leftovers on Tyranitar to rack up sand damage. So, but our play is 100% to go out into Hariyama. It's what we got to do. So let's see what he clicks. He might just click Knockoff. If he clicks Knockoff, while it does suck a little bit, it's not the end of the world, I'd say. So yeah, so he just knocks off my boots. Oh my god, is that a crit? Or is that just banded? Is that just banded? Adamant. Yeah, that is choice banded. My guess is that he does go Skarmory. And I do want to knock off its Rocky Helmet if it comes in. Because if I Drain Punch, I'm not really getting anywhere there. I can knock off and then I can go for a taunt. And like stop it from getting rocks up and stuff like that. So I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click knockoff. Let's see. If they go out into Amoonguss and they lose their item. Yeah, this is Skarm. I remember the nickname. Atacama. Is it Boots? Or are we breaking Sturdy? We're breaking Sturdy. Okay. It's 100% going to be Helmet, right? Like it just has to be? Yeah. It just had to be Helmet. So what sucks here is that we're kind of going to lose our Tyranitar answer, but the play is to click Taunt anyways. I don't want this thing getting up spikes or like an Iron Defense or anything like that. I don't know if this would be the rocker. It probably, this is the rocker and then like Gastrodon is a spiker, perhaps. That could be something. They just go for the Brave Bird. Okay, so we're going to lose our Hariyama, but I guess that's okay. I guess that's not the end of the world. Yeah, even banded, we're not doing what we need to do. So I guess this could be the time where we go Iron Treads and we try to do our thing. I think that's something that we can do because I don't have anything that pressures the Skarmory out immediately. Like I could go into Sinistra, but I don't think I want to do that just yet. So let's go into our Iron Treads. Let's see if we can make this set work. I think the play is to click Iron Defense because even if he brings in Gastrodon, I can always switch out. Yeah, let's just go ahead and click Iron Defense. Let's see if he just decides to click Body Press or not. Thunder from here doesn't kill if he's like the a Fizz Def set. It potentially could have killed, but let's see what he does. He does go Gastrodon. Okay, it does suck that it's going to give him free spikes. But I can go a little aggressive. I could go a little aggressive and I can just switch out into Meowscarada. Because I think he's just going to set up some type of spike here. I think he's getting up a spike or setting up rocks, something like that. I think is what's coming off here. So let's be a little aggressive. Let's go into Meowscarada. I need Meowscarada to click as many buttons as it can. So that we can like potentially win the game late game. That is the entire plan here. Earth Power. Okay, we're going to be able to eat that. We are going to be able to eat that. And I think the play is always to click Triple Axle. And I mean, we click Triple Axle and we kind of pray that we just hit the moves. They are going to withdraw. Okay. Do we see the Amoonguss or do we see the Skarmory? Yeah, Skarmory's going to come out. All right, so I just need to hit this 3 times and Skarmory is dead. He will find out that I'm banded, which obviously will suck a little bit. Protein. All right, hit him 3 times. Let's go. 1, 2, And 3. All right, Skarmory is dead, which is nice because Iron Treads becomes very free to click Earthquake now, which is nice. Rocky, that is the Zapdos, right? Yeah, okay. I guess I could go Qwilfish instead of going the obvious Uxie again. Because if it decides to U-turn, I can Poison Point it. I'm half tempted to stay in and click Triple Axle because I think they are just going to U-turn, but I can't risk them staying in and clicking like Brave Bird. I can't risk that. I'm gonna go Qwilfish. We can hopefully get a Poison Point. That would be quite helpful. So they're just gonna go for the CC. Okay. I didn't expect them to click that, to be honest, but they did click it. That seems to be, is that a crit or no? Yeah, I think he's Adamant Scarf, yeah, for sure. Adamant Scarf for sure. I guess I can just get up a Spike, but I also kind of would want to like click Bar Barrage just to be able to like punish this thing if it decides to stay in. But if it stays in, I have a Sinistra. It doesn't matter. If it stays in, I have a Sinistra. So let me just spike up. Let me spike up. Then we're gonna go Drill. Okay. Now this is the turn where I decide if I want to spin. It's Mold Breaker. Okay. That's interesting. Now this is the turn where I decide if I want to spin block it or if I just want to attack. Sinistra is the win con, so I can't really risk it. I'm kind of half tempted to try to go out into our Meowscarada because I don't think they spin here. I think they either click like Iron Head or like Throat Chop. Like I think the Sinistra is like so obvious. As obvious as it is, I need to go out into it. As obvious as it is, I have to. As obvious as it is, I have to. They do Rapid Spin. Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that. I am absolutely cool with that. They might go Amoonguss. I don't have any real way to pressure Amoonguss. Like Meowscarada even... Like Meowscarada is good at like forcing switches to happen. Like if I can get Meowscarada to force switches... Actually, even if Amoonguss is full Fist Death, I kill it. So I'm gonna pull a double. I'm gonna be aggressive. Yeah, I'm gonna be aggressive and I'm gonna pull a double here. I was expecting the Amoonguss to come out. So if we can land Triple Axle again, we are able to kill this thing. Let's just hope we can land our Triple Axles. A lot of the success of this game is going to ride on the fact that I need to hit Triple Axle. If I don't hit Triple Axle, we might be in trouble. He doesn't really have an ice switch in, so this is why Banded Triple Axle Meowscarada does so well in the matchup. And especially now that I know that the drill isn't even Sand Rush, I'm not really worried about it. Like his speed control is gonna go into Barney. His speed control is only Zapdos. If we can we kill this thing? I don't think we can kill Tyranitar here. I don't think we can kill Tyranitar here with Triple Axle. 1, 2, 3. No, we can't. But that does seem to be like max HP. That did seem to be max HP. And we know that this thing is banded, right? The damage it did with, what did it click? It clicked knockoff on something, right? On Hariyama. Yeah, the damage it did to Hariyama means that it's banded. So we're triple axling. We land it. Okay, we're good. That was... Whew, you're gonna go into Rocky again. All right, in comes the Zapdos. I mean, at least we're weakening this thing down, right? With rocks and shit. We are like really weakening it. I'm gonna go Qwilfish because I can still get up a Reflect with Uxie, and that's what I want to do. They're gonna U-turn. All right, give me a Poison Point. Give me a Poison Point. No Poison Point. That's unfortunate. All right, Drill is back. They could click Earthquake here is my problem. And like this play to go out into Sinistra, it's probably not going to work a second time. If it's Jolly, I can go Meowscarada. But if it rapid spins and it's faster than me, so no, we have to make the Sinistra play again. I have to make the Sinistra play again. Let's see what they click. They probably click Throat Chop this time or something. Iron Head. Okay. 243. Can I calc if that's like that? That seems to be Jolly. Yeah, that seems to be Jolly. I'm gonna click Matcha Gotcha just because we might be able to get a burn on the Amoonguss anyways. I might be able to get a burn on the Amoonguss anyways. Guess a Moon. We can like try to scout damage. I was gonna make the play into Meowscarada, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it a second time because I didn't quite know what we were gonna expect here. If I can get a burn though, this play would have been worth it. Can I get a burn? No burn. Okay. Absolutely no burn. All right. Sand is gone though. Iron Tread's low-key the most useless Pokemon on the team at the moment, so I'm gonna go into Iron Treads. This thing is the most useless thing on the team right now, so They're gonna pull a double. Okay, do they go Zapdos or do they just go back to like Excadrill? Don Gastro. Okay. Now I can't prevent him from getting spikes up, but what I can do is I can click Earthquake twice. What I can do is I can click Earthquake and then I can spin on the next turn if I need to. So I think the play here is just gonna be to click Earthquake. And let's see how much this does. At about 40-ish%, they're gonna get rocks up. I can spin, then they will pop my weakness policy, right? They will pop my weakness policy, and then I can go for another Earthquake on the following turn. So I think that exchange will work out. And because he didn't bring Houndstone, he doesn't have a way to block this spin. And a +1 treads could be pretty dangerous. He also saw Iron Defense, so he might be thinking that I'm like Iron Defense Body Press or something. So let's see if he just decides to recover or not. Earth Power. Okay, I should live this. We do live it, and our weakness policy pops now. So we can go ahead and spam Earthquake. We can go ahead and spam Earthquake. Now, it sucks that I'm gonna have to hit a Thunder on the Zapdos if I want to kill it, but it is what it is. I couldn't tell if that thing was physically defensive or especially defensive, but I'm thinking it was more physically defensive. Because that did less than 40. So if I'm at +2, yeah, this thing dies. We are, in fact, in a pretty decent spot. So he's going to sack this thing off. Okay. No rocks up go on our side, which is huge. Because I did one mock this week and I got my ass handed to me. Shout out to Bruno. Because like they just got like spikes and rocks up and I just couldn't do anything to avoid it. So Treads was a very last minute addition to the team, and this set was also courtesy to shout out Bruno. I think it's worth just going ahead and clicking Earthquake here, right? I think it's worth just clicking Earthquake here. Amoonguss physically defensive. We have a chance to kill it. We have a chance. We just straight up kill it. Oh my god. Hold up, Iron Treads might be him. Okay. Hold up. I thought Iron Treads had a horrible matchup until Bruno pointed out this particular set. You know what would make this infinitely cooler? Do you know what would make this infinitely cooler? Is if I hit this Thunder. Please hit the Thunder. Please, come on. You're adamant. I'm faster than you. Hit the Thunder. No! Oh, it would have been so cool. Fuck this game, man. Man, fuck this game. That would have been so cool if Iron Treads hit the Thunder, bro. Oh my god, bro. Fuck this game, honestly. Sinistra against Excadrill. If I'm at +2. Ironhead is doing jack shit, to be honest. I'm doing that. And then I can Matcha Gotcha and get some HP back. What if it's like Throat Chop? Still doing like jack shit. So let's go ahead and Iron Defense. You're gonna have to switch, obviously, because they're scarfed into close combat. And then I can Matcha Gotcha next turn. I get a lot of my HP back. I get mucho of my HP back. And we get the potential to snag a burn. So that's something. That is something. Let's just go ahead and Matcha Gotcha. Dude, if I hit that Thunder, that would have been such a cool play, bro. That would have been such a sick play. Oh, that would have... Iron Treads would have swept the game with the coolest set of all time, probably. That is... It's still going on the thumbnail, but that is heartbreaking, really. He hasn't shown an item, and he's only clicked like one attack at a time, so... Ironhead. Maybe he's going for Ironhead flinches? Matcha Gotcha. Alright, burn it so we don't have to worry about it. And give me all my HP back. Burn it. Burn it. Not burned. Burned! Oh my god, we're up huge. And then I can Terra Fairy in front of the Zapdos, and we can kill it with Shadow Ball. Let's Matcha Gotcha again. No flinch. I mean, even if it flinches, yeah. I mean, even if it flinches, I was gonna say like there's not much here that can really happen. How much does Sinistra do to Zapdos? I don't want to throw like I did last week, guys. Last week really hit me hard. Yeah, I need to be at +1 in order to be able to OHKO it from where it's at, I think. So we're gonna do that. Like this thing, if it's gonna flinch me until the end, like it's gonna die. So I can then Terra Fairy, and then it's probably gonna have to click Brave Bird. I can Terra Fairy. I'm just playing it safe this time, guys. Like last week it was horrible. I don't want that to happen again. So I'm just going for an Iron Defense. Like I need to be at +4 to make sure that this bird doesn't kill me, and then we should be okay, I think. It's not going to be able to kill me, so unless it gets a crit, but if it gets a crit, then at least I played to like the best that I could. So 131, yeah. Adamant Bravebird does 116 max, so. And I can just Terra Fairy to get rid of my Bravebird weakness. But I think we have this one in the bag, barring some, like, bullshit last-minute shenanigans. I think we have this in the bag. Oh, this thing is so much weaker. I didn't even need to Calm Mind. But we are going to Terra for good measure, and we're going to go for a Shadow Ball. First time terrestrializing the Sinistra, yeah. Terra Fairy. Do they just go for Brave Bird? Yeah. Okay, so we should eat this. Yeah, we eat that. That did 58, and then Shadow Ball. That was an absolute max roll, and then Shadow Ball should be able to pick it up the KO. Oh my god, guys, I actually won a game. Maybe I'm not lost. Last week's loss really hit me hard, but I'm so happy that we were able to win this game against somebody who I never defeated. Check out Matt. I fucking love him. I don't swear, but that's just so you know how much I love him.